What's up, everybody? It's still saying What the Fuck Tuesday, but it's actually Wednesday in case you're confused, because I know I am a little bit. But yes, it seems like we'd be on Wednesday for a minute here because Miss C can't get her stuff together, but whatever. I'm not going to complain because she does it essentially for free, other than little donations I send her way every now and again. But what we do here on this show is people send in their letters in advance. I have them here in this handy little packet. And they're chosen. I don't know how they're chosen, but a selection of 25 of what came in this week is in this packet. I read the questions aloud. I give an answer off the top of my head. Please, if you wrote in a question, be sure to look in the chat as well to see what they have to say and if they have anything that augments or adds to what I have to say. And sometimes they disagree with me, and that's okay too. But, between all of us, we got you. That's what we do here. Okay, so let's get started since we have our usual 25 questions today. I have my wine in hand because I know I'm going to be needing some. They don't call this show What the Fuck for no reason. Okay, so let's start with question number 1. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Austin, Texas. The male in question is in the 43 to 50 age group. Oh, that's a big group. Okay, maybe that's her daddy. Let's see. My boyfriend's income is 12 times higher than mine, but I still pay half of my salary to him. And you do that because A, you're stupid, B, you're dummy, or C, you don't have shit else to do with your money. But let's see what you have to say. I don't get it. He is financially capable of supporting the both of us, but every month half of my salary is deposited into his bank account, then takes care of all the expenses such as groceries, flights, hotels, and dinners. I just don't think my contribution is worth being made and that I could be using the money to save. I need advice if this is a reasonable way of thinking and how I can bring it up in a conversation. Okay, so do you live with him? You didn't make that's not clear here. I'm assuming it is since you're talking about expenses, but groceries, flights, hotels, and dinners, that could be you living in your own spot. So I'm really not clear on what you're talking about here. But to me, it doesn't matter because you would have to, if you just say you're living with him, girlfriend, do you realize that you would be living? It's nowhere free to live except maybe at your parents' house. Everywhere else is going to cost you money. Now, if it should be this much money, or if it should be somebody who's making 12 times what you're making, making you pay half of your salary, that's the part that I would have a problem with. Because obviously he's making that much more than you, then you giving up half of your salary is having a much greater financial impact on you than it is on him. So then I have to ask you, what is it that you are getting out of this relationship that makes you want to give up half your salary to him? I mean, you living there paying half of this stuff is saving him a lot of money. But what's it doing for you? Would it be less expensive for you to live like you've in a roommate type of situation? Would it be less expensive for you to share a place with 2 other girls? Each have your own room, share the main parts, living room, dining room, laundry room, kitchen. Think about it. I don't see any reason why this is a good idea. But, like I said, you might have some information that you just didn't share with me. So I can only give you the answer based on what you wrote here, which isn't really much. Let's move on to question number 2. This is a man in the 28 to 34 age group from Reno, Nevada. He's a Taurus of European descent, which means he's white. The female in question is 22 to 27 age group. She's a Leo, also Caucasian. Summary of issue. I'm about to lose my marriage over a child-free life. Hi, Ms. Cooper. I'm writing because I desperately need some guidance on a very painful situation going on in my life. I have a good friend who listens to you and respects the advice you give. He told me if anyone can help me, you can because you think outside the box. So here goes. Oh, I met the love of my life 10 years ago, and we have been married for the last 7. Neither one of us wanted children and were adamant about not having an accident, so we were both sterilized before marriage. I had a vasectomy, and she had a bicep. As a man, I couldn't be happier. I have a terrific wife all to myself, and a booming career and side business that supports us handsomely. But now I have had a tragedy concerning the sudden death of my younger sister that threatens to change my life forever. She was killed in a boating accident. Oh no. And left behind my 22-month-old nephew. He's not even two. We have no idea who the father is since my sister got pregnant while away at school, and there's no father listed on the birth certificate. Okay, I can see where this is going. My older brother's struggling with drug abuse, so there's no way he will be of any help in this situation. My parents are in their early 60s, but with my father's many health issues, my mother has enough on her plate. There's no way they can care for a child so young. I have extended family in the form of aunts, uncles, and cousins with their own children, but no one is willing to take on the responsibility of a toddler full time. So the onus falls on me and my wife. Everyone thinks we should be responsible since we are the ideal situation to care for a child. While my wife is fond of my nephew and has had fun having him with us a couple of times he's visited prior to my sister's death, she wants absolutely nothing to do with motherhood in any way, shape, or form. Miss Cooper, I do not want any children either, but how can I let my nephew go into the foster care system or be adopted by strangers? My parents are begging me to take my nephew in so that they can stay close to him and see him whenever they can, as he's the only thing left of my sister. Ooh, dude, this is oof. Okay. My wife says she understands how I feel, but her plans are for a child-free life, period. That if I want to take on this burden, she will not stop me, but our marriage will be no more because she knows the bulk of childcare will eventually fall on her, as it usually does with women when children enter the picture. She wants to concentrate on her art and her antique business and be my wife, not be stuck home with a baby. That if we take on my nephew, our lives as we know it will be over. As much as she loves me, she is absolutely not willing to make the sacrifice. She is right about having primary responsibility for my nephew since I work outside the home and she works at home, but I don't know what to do. I will be crushed if I lose my wife, but my nephew is a helpless child who needs me. I am absolutely in a no-win situation here. Any help or guidance you can offer will be so greatly appreciated. I got an idea. Now, I don't know what your house situation is like and if you guys have the space for it, but have you heard of the term au pair? Au pair. Those are like college students or young, sometimes it's even an older woman. And I would bet on that because they're likely to be more stable than a college student. So you get like a retiree or some, 50s, early 60s, something like that, who is stable and needs a nice place to stay. Sometimes they'll even cook. They'll clean and you can negotiate that in the salary that you pay. I would look for an older woman because the likelihood of her sticking around and being more dependable and more stable mentally, emotionally, and psychologically are higher than if you hire a young person. I mean, they're good, don't get me wrong, but they're just starting out in life, so you can't really plan on them being around for more than a couple of years at the most while they finish school or whatever, and then they're gone. So if you want somebody who's going to be, you can make a comfortable, they can make a comfortable home with you and stay there for a while, it would be the best of both worlds. You find an older lady to let, like I said, you got to have a room though where she's gonna be living in. That's gonna be part of her salary, and your wife can still do her art or whatever, and the lady will take care of the baby. You will still have your nephew under your wing and your watchful eye. Your wife won't have to do anything because the au pair, nanny, whoever will be doing it. That will be the closest person to this little boy. It won't be her. And now she could stand that, if she can handle that, sounds like she's ready for that, then that would be the I would investigate that. Alternatively, dude, you have a decision to make, and I can't make this one for you. See, for me, blood is thicker than water, and there's no way in this world I would turn my back on that kid who already lost his mother. Okay, he lost the only person that he's close to, his mommy. He's alone in this world except for you. So I would have to tell my wife that this is what I propose. Are you down to try that and see what she says? And if she says no, my brother, you're going to have some serious thinking to do, because to keep this woman, you would have to turn your back on that kid and let him go like into the system and get adopted or fostered out or something like that. Can you live with yourself like that? Could your family stand you looking at you knowing that you did that? You're right about your older parents. There's no way in their world that they can take on that burden. And you got a brother who's all off in la la land and tripping. He's likely to trade the kid for some product. So you don't want to get in that environment for sure either. So it looks like it's you. And this is the thing that's really, when people say, I want to live a child-free life, and they have relatives like this, I say do that as long as you can and have yourself ready for a change in your life, because it always, always happens that way. Always. I knew a woman and her husband, but they only had one kid. That's all they wanted. Well, same thing. Her sister and brother-in-law died in a car accident. They had 4 kids. So suddenly she was the mother of 5. And they stepped right up and it worked out really well. And the kids were well behaved and all that kind of stuff. But just think of the shock for a couple who only wanted one child. Suddenly they had to buy a bigger house and get, bunk beds and do all kind of stuff to fit. The sister had some insurance, they had insurance and stuff like that. But still, that's not enough for a whole lifetime. But it was enough to, help get the kids set up with furniture and, move them in and to help them get a bigger house and all this kind of stuff. It was enough for that. But that's the only thing I can come up with to try that and see how that works. And like I said, look for an older person with all the COVID money drying up all of a sudden, and these seniors on a fixed income. I think you would probably have a good bet finding someone like at a senior center or something. Put the word out that that's what you're looking for, and it's going to include room and board. And then they get a little Mickey Mouse salary, not enough to mess with their Social Security or anything like that. They can still collect that too, but you need to live in, and that's what I would try first. I put all my energy into that. Try to save my marriage, and then if it didn't work, blood's thicker than water. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can do. But look over here and see what they have to do, what they have to say. And the wife does understand, but that still doesn't mean she wants to be bothered with the kid. See, that's 2 different things. And she has every right to do it because that's the agreement that they made. I'm trying to figure out a way where he can ride the fence and not really fall into either side. But this is the only thing that I can come up with off the top of my head. Given more time, I might be able to think of something else. But right now, that's the only solution I can come up with. I wish you the best of luck. What a tragedy, and I'm really sorry you lost your sister. Question number 3. This is a man in the 28 to 34 age group. He's Caucasian from Scottsdale, Arizona. Summary of issue. I was verbally attacked. I received this little gem of yesterday from a woman I used to casually see after I asked her a question about how much a slab of wood was worth. A slab of wood. Is this a double, what you call it? So she says to me, okay, let me make this clear to you. You sucked at eggplant, but I put up with you because I was bored. You're whiny and you reached put to model. Wait, you reached put. I don't know what you're supposed to say to multiple times because you clearly can't get anyone because your personality and your dang-a-lang suck. She was mad, huh? Kind of feeling like shit over it, even though I never had any interest in more with her. Mostly because I know some of it is true. Seems like, damn, dude. Seems like one of those things that's going to stick with me for a long, long time. Not sure what I'm trying to get out of this. Just venting, I guess. Yeah, because you're not going to get nothing out of me but laughter. Hearty laughter. Especially when you admit that it's true. Dude, for real? She's saying that you whiny and you can't get nobody because you have a sucky personality and sucky dangalang too. What you gonna do about that though? You said it's true. What are you going to do to improve the situation? You can't just write to me and just not say anything, not have a plan. You cannot go through life like this. You better fix yourself. This don't make no sense. Yeah, girlfriend went off AWF. Oh, I don't even know what to say. How would I feel if some woman told me that and I was a dude? I know what I would fire back. I'd say, well, it was bad because anyway, I know me. I would not let her get away with that unscathed because I would have to do that, so it'd be zipped right on back to her and we'd talk about her too. Yeah, he really should work on improving himself. He admits that these things are true. It's kind of sad. Knowing me, if somebody said this, I'd probably laugh and then I'd light her up. Question number 4. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's African American, a Cancer from Lawrence, Kansas. Summary of issue: what does it mean if your partner does lots of nice things, but when you ask them for your actual needs, they refuse to meet them? For example, if you tell him that you want him to listen to your feelings, but he refuses and makes you an elaborate breakfast instead. And when you get upset, they point to the breakfast they made and imply that you have no right to be upset. Is that bad? Yes, that's grounds for dumping. Let me tell you why. This is some little clown. He doesn't want you to be happy with what you want. He wants you to be happy with what he wants to give you. This is a very controlling person. He doesn't care what you need, what you actually need. He's only going to give you what he wants to give you, and he wants you to be happy about it. Of course, you're not, because it's not meeting your needs, which you very clearly stated. So, see, for me, this relationship would be over. He's giving you a very clear message. This is who he is. This is how he interacts with people. He's like, I'm not trying to hear what you're talking about. You better take this Scooby snack and get the fuck out of my face, because this is all you're going to get. That's what he's telling you. So his little breakfast that he made is a Scooby snack. And that, I don't know what else to tell you, girlfriend. But this, if you have a man who shuts down and stonewalls like this and refuses to listen and refuses to communicate clearly, there is no hope for a relationship with this man. There's no hope. You're never going to get your needs met. You're never going to feel really loved, taken care of, any of that kind of stuff, because he's only going to throw you the crumbs that he wants to throw, and what you want is irrelevant in his grand master plan. So understand what time it is. Certain times, women, you just have to understand what's going on in your relationship and that man's style of communication and caring and support or whatever, or lack thereof. This guy is not interested in you wanting, demanding, or getting anything from him that you want. He sees that as a burden. So he's going to give you what he wants, and you're supposed to like it and be happy with it, accept it, and not complain about it. This dude is a trip. Yes, it is Happy Woman's Day. Speaking of which, hold on a second. We're going to do another Sunday sermon, in honor of it's National Women's Month. So I'm going to try to do something every week on this. But now I'm going to teach you guys. We're going to be using this method. Oops, I forgot a period at the end there. We're going to be using the bluff method of communicating with men. I do have one video on the channel about communicating with men already. I'll try to remember to link to that. And this is a good way to kind of launch things. But this is a more direct way of communicating with dudes. And I will be teaching you how to do it and give you some examples of women who failed miserably when we get together on Sunday. Okay. Yes, that's Sunday's show. So be sure to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and then hit that reminder button thing so you can get a notification when the show starts in case you forget. Okay, so that's what that means. So let's move on to number 5. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group from Greenville, North Carolina. Summary of issue: ghosting is brutal. Is it common, or is there things that I should change about myself? I'm kind of new to dating in the sense that I'm 25 and I never really tried dating until now. I just wasn't that interested in having a girlfriend. A few months ago, though, I decided that it's time and I'm now interested. But man, what the hell with this ghosting thing? And I'm not only talking about ghosting when we're at the beginning of the talking stage on dating apps, having never met. I'm talking ghosting even after a few dates, after having invested some real time and effort. Can you make it make sense? Sir, let me explain this. On this channel, there's a couple of videos about ghosting. Take a look at those. Just go to the channel and type in ghosting and they'll pop up. But as a little summary, let me just say this. If you have not had a conversation with the person and the two of you agreed to be a couple, one-on-one commitment and all this kind of stuff, then it's not your girlfriend. It's just somebody you just went out with a couple of times, and she doesn't owe you shit. You don't owe her shit either. So it's like, some people want to be polite and just tell you, well, it's really not working out and this and that and all this old stuff here. But the bottom line is they don't really have to do that because you're not a couple. They don't owe you anything. What do they know about you really? Not much. So that's what you're dealing with. People who just don't feel like they owe you that, and they really don't. Now, like I said, some people are raised differently and they're more polite than others, and they're going to go through all them changes and be concerned about your feelings and what you think and what you want and how it might hurt you and all sorts of stuff. 99.9% of people don't give a fuck about you. And that's what you need to understand. They get together and they look at you and you talk and they decide if it's something that they want to be bothered with. And when they don't, they move on to the next one. And so that's it. That's your modern dating. What do you think? It's like essentially what they're doing. You know how they swiped and then they found you? Where they're swiping and they're leaving you alone. It's the same principle. They're swiping. They're swiping physically with their finger on the app. They're swiping with their bodies to remove themselves from your life. It's the same mentality. The swipey thing mentality is created a whole new way of dating. So if you're going to be on these apps, you got to grow a tougher skin. I don't really recommend the apps. I don't think they really make any sense for people who are looking for something serious. It's more of a hookup type of thing. But if you feel like you must, you don't know any other way to meet women, you don't go out nowhere, you don't do and have any hobbies or interests in no life, well, then yeah, the apps will probably be the only way that you can connect with the opposite sex, but it's still not a good idea. Like the doctor said yesterday, we were doing a video on Sunday, the guy said there's, 3 times or 4, what did he say, 5 times, whatever, some large number of men more than there are women. So your chances of meeting somebody that really is going to click with you are already slim. I don't know, dude, but I'm just telling you, that's the mentality of the people these days. It's like instant gratification. Either they get with you and you click immediately and then they stick around, or they just swipe you off their life and they move on to the next one. So just think about it that way and don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's about the culture now. People just aren't investing. Unless they really like you, then they will. Question number 6. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from the UK. Summary of issue. How bloody red is this flag? Oh. How bloody red is this flag, Deb? I knew my new boyfriend's mom, and she put that in capitals, warned me off him. And not in a mean way, but in a quote, I hope he's nicer to you than all the others way. She then said, quote, he can be very kind. He just doesn't always show it, end quote, and pleaded with me to give him a chance. Bloody hell. The thing is, I kind of do believe her because she was saying it in a way like, don't discount him because of this, in a pleading way. But so far, he's not proven any of this behavior. But now I'm wondering why she would bother mentioning anything. It's mad, I know. My previous boyfriend's mom just instantly listed her favorite dog breeds. What? I was having doubts anyway. Nothing related to this, but bloody heck. Well, I'm going to say this. You can stick around and see, if what she's saying is true while you hold your emotions in check. If he's being nice so far, you could do that way. Or you could do like me and realize that if somebody's mama is trying to lobby for their son and dump him off on you by telling you to begging for you to stay with him and all stuff, I would deuce out immediately. You know why? Because I don't do mothers in my relationship. Whether she coming from a good place or bad, she way too much in your mix. And I'm not down with that kind of stuff. I don't care what your mama got to say. I don't want her in my business like that. So see, for me, just this conversation alone, when she called herself being helpful or pleading for her son's case or something, because she likes you or whatever, I wouldn't care. Because you ladies, stay in your envelope. Stay over there with your mouth closed, and your grown ass son and me, a grown woman, are gonna make this happen or we not. But whatever happens, it's not your business. So see, that's how I am with it. And I would have been done with him on the spot. It's like, you need to get your mama in check because she all up in my Kool-Aid. I'm not, no. So you think about that. Like you said, you was already on the fence. So there's something wrong that you tuned into. And now this on the top, I'd be like, boop, it was nice knowing you, chump. Question number 7. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's Asian from Washington, D.C. The man, this question is 35 to 41. And he's Asian also, and he's a Sagittarius. Oh, God, girl, no, you did not mess with a Sag. Summary of issue, why don't men just pay for hookers? Okay. Oh. Hey, Deb, I love your channel. I decided to unleash my inner mischief with this online stuff and found an unintentional player. On my profile, I stated I'm looking for a long-term relationship. What you do that for? A guy messaged me and his profile said he wanted something casual. Normally, I don't reply to these, but he was decent looking, lived in my area, so I wrote back, but I was suspicious. I asked him if he was married, and he said no. Hmm. I asked if he had kids, and he said yes. We had some X-rated conversations, which I pretty much did to fuel the fire, so to speak, since I was out of town and bored on a work trip. Anyways, long story short, when I got back into town, dude kept messaging me, essentially demanding that I come to his hotel room, which was 20 miles away. My plan had him have him come to city and lead him on a wild goose chase. Girl, you doing too much. It became very clear he was indeed married, and I put him on ice after he kept incessantly calling and messaging. But what I don't get is why he wouldn't just pay for a hooker to get some nook and not have to leave the comfort of his hotel room. If that is what I wanted as a man, it would be much easier than putting on a facade and chatting up someone for a week or whatever. I thought I would get your take. Devil in a green dress. I guess that's her signature. Girl, it's the same thing. And if he could get you to drive the cooch to him and he don't have to pay no money, anybody would do that. Why would a man have to come? I don't know how much them come to you hookers are. Let's just say it's $100. He gonna save $100 by you delivering yourself to him for free. I would try it too if I was a dude. I sure would. Because free 99 beats $100 every time. Okay. So that's why he would do it. And then he has a hotel room because he can't hardly bring you to his house, can he? I mean, really? Come on now. And you ain't a teenager. So, that backseat shit, that's not going to be working either. If people are, oh, we're not flexible no more. And getting cramps in our legs and putting our back out and shit, trying to climb into somebody's backseat. Yeah, that's not going to work. Now, first thing I want you to do is go on your profile and take off that long-term relationship shit. That's just like a flag of take that off. Just say I'm looking for the right fit or some, good match or something like that. That's just be more vague. That you putting all the specific stuff on here, that's gonna attract a certain type of creepazoid, and you don't need that in your life. The X-rated conversations, really. You had nothing else to do with your time. That was the best you could do. Stop this. Okay, stop it. They don't want to pay. Like I said, they don't want to pay. Why pay for what you can get for free? There's too many women who's dumb and would just drove right over to his hotel room, stomach's empty, wallet's empty, gas tank empty, to see some man that they've never met before and serve up some butt. He was hoping you were that kind of dumb. Question number 8. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Macon, Georgia. Summary of issue. I found escorts, including trans escorts, on my boyfriend's phone, and I'm at a loss of what to do now. Let me give you a quick and tidy little tip. You pick up the phone and you say, "You freaky weirdo, we're done here, sir." That's what you do. But let's see how you handled it. I am really struggling to process this, and I do not feel in a position to seek advice from anyone I know personally, at the risk of exposing something of my boyfriend which he is not comfortable with to others. We are both 23 years old, by the way. Firstly, I want to just preface this by saying I am in no way have an issue with trans women, and I see them as women because you stupid. Okay, you know what? I'm done with this. We're not even going to read this letter because right now you done said you see somebody with a dick as a woman, and I cannot with you. So let's move on. Question number 9. Female, 22 to 27, Coconut Creek, Florida. Summary of issue. My boyfriend went to a bar and didn't mention to me that he was going, which isn't really a big deal, but he got a girl's number while he was out. He claims it was for work reasons. He is looking to hire a few servers at his restaurant. Girlfriend, that's not a summary. That's like half the story. Anyway, she's friends with one of my friends. He wasn't aware of this and screenshot the text to my friend of their conversation. in the conversation, he's asking how she slept and were her dreams good. Oh, did he now? Oh, girl, your boyfriend is kind of special. Child, you know I don't go for that shit. We don't do that here. We do not do that here. Okay. I'm very clear about who's a man and who's a woman. There's no confusion. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I don't care about somebody's political agenda or nobody's goddamn feelings. Okay, you got a dick, your ass is a man, and that's it, and that's all. And I don't care what you say. So anybody who's telling me that they agree with that and want me to think about some bullshit like with that kind of mentality, I don't have time for you. Okay, so and Candace, we have to have a conversation. Yeah, on National Women's Day, gonna be telling me some bullshit like that. Fuck out of here with that. Anyway, so her boyfriend is a hoe. So he said, anyway, it seems inappropriate for a work conversation, and it has me really annoyed. Am I overreacting? No, just accept that your boyfriend's a hoe, and that's just the way it is. Now, what you gonna do about it? This is extremely disrespectful. He's looking to hire some service for his restaurant. Well, you wouldn't be asking the person that you're looking to hire if how she slept and were her dreams good. That's personal. That's not professional. And you're absolutely right. That's crossing a boundary. And I'm sure the girl's uncomfortable if she really was looking for a job. I mean, we don't know if that story is really true. I mean, you seem to think it is, but so maybe he really is looking for servers, but not necessarily her, or he wants her to serve up something else besides food and drinks. But at any point, you want to call him your boyfriend, and I'm gonna say that was just somebody you was kicking it with, and maybe somebody you was fucking, but he's not your boyfriend, not emotionally. He's still on the prowl looking for something else. So you need to wise up and understand what time it is. Okay. Because men who are really into you don't do that kind of stuff. They be quick to tell a woman, no, I'm married, I got a girl, this is, call me at business hours, give them their business card or something. They wouldn't be asking personal questions like that, and they wouldn't be checking with the person and texting them on, about anything that has nothing to do with work. So all in all, I hope you understand what's going on here. Yes, Kristen. Some bullshit. Make me have to drink my wine. Question number 10. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group. He's black from Richmond, California. Oh my God, he in the hood. How do I tell my girlfriend that her living conditions are bad without hurting her feelings? I love my girlfriend very much, and we've been dating almost 8 months now, but I don't like being in her apartment. It's constantly freezing and damp with black mold in various locations. Oh my God, that stuff will kill you. I understand that energy bills are high, but it's come to the point that if the heating isn't on, I'm literally shivering and sneezing. I don't understand how she isn't too. I constantly end up feeling ill whenever I'm around there. It's becoming a problem because I want us to be able to enjoy spending time in each other's homes, and I don't have the heart to tell her that a cold, damp place full of mold is not only making me ill, but could also be dangerous for her. How should I approach this? Well, it depends. You 28 to 34. What you doing with this girl? Are you just going to try to date her forever? Are you going to try to make something permanent here? If that's your plan to make something permanent, move towards marriage or something, then you move her out of that environment and you move her in with you. That's what a boyfriend who gives a fuck about his girl would do. You see, she's obviously don't have much money. That's why she has to live in those kind of conditions. Right? So instead of you writing to me, you should be doing and complaining to her about it. You should be doing something about it because you're supposed to be the man. You're supposed to be the leader of the relationship. You're supposed to be the shot caller and the protector and all that kind of bullshit. But instead, all you doing is whining to me about some shit. I'm really not feeling you, my brother. So this is what you do. Either you put up or you shut up. If you're gonna if you're not gonna put up and move her up out of there into in with you, or y'all get another place together, something like that, then you're wasting my time. You're wasting hers too. In the 28 to 34 age group, you don't be dating for years and years. You either bust a move and you get engaged or married or something. Something need to be happening. But you shouldn't have a girlfriend who's living in an apartment with black mold in it. Actually, what you should do is report that to Cal OSHA or Richmond building inspectors or something like that, so that landlord could get fined, and then they will have to give her money to move. That's what you should do. Okay? Because that's a health violation. That black mold will kill you. Little kids have gotten so sick, their lungs be all fucked up. I remember I looked at an apartment, and they had this wall, right? And it had mold on the wall. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is that? And so the guy was like, oh, we're going to replace that. I said, but see, my thing is, my daddy owned apartment building. And I said, I'm sure when you cut that sheetrock off right there, that there's going to be mold in the wall. And it's like, what are you going? You're going to have to replace beams and all kind of stuff up in there, and probably part of the floor and everything else. How would you do that while I was living here? And then the guy just looked at me. I said, I'm not going to take this place, but I just want you to understand this. This is a health hazard. You need to fix this before you try to rent it out. I remember, never forget that. That was some wild shit. I don't know what he was thinking. But, people had been living there before that. That might be why they moved out. I don't know. But I was like, oh, my God. But, yeah, this is the kind of thing that, to me, is as you dating her, you fucking her, and you like her enough to be with her for 8 months, the motherfucker step up and get her the fuck up out of there so that it'd be a healthier situation for both of you. Even if y'all don't last, you could help her get another place later or whatever. But it sounds like you're getting along good, and your ass is too old to keep dating. Okay? You're too old for this. Do something with yourself. Question number 11. This is a female in the 35 to 42 age group. She's white from Seattle, Washington, and the guy in question is 35 to 42 as well, also Caucasian. Summary of issue. My husband doesn't think he's flirting, but he is. What do I do? Slap the shit out of him. What do you think? As we say in the black neighborhood, the black world, slap the taste out of his mouth. This clown here. Okay, recently we were on vacation and my husband was flirting with a family friend. He claims that she is married and is harmless, and that is not flirting. However, he has a history of being very friendly with women, like being too friendly with work colleagues, etc. He knows how I feel, yet he keeps acting this way. I feel like it's just so much part of his personality. He claims he would never cheat, and maybe that's true, but the fact that he never sets boundaries is upsetting, and I'm sure there are many men out there who would have more boundaries than he does. I am unhappy with him, but I realize that he can't change. He also claims that he does so much for me and our kids, and then how could I ever think badly of him? But this is a big deal breaker for me. I would rather be alone than married to a flirt. Oh, no. What you look like? What you look like? Are you cute? If not, you better get cute. You go get your hair did, and you get you some new sexy outfits. And if you overweight or anything, you gotten flabby or whatever, get your ass to the nearest gym, since all this stuff is opening up, and get you a trainer. And in about 2 months, you'll be looking fly as fuck. And then you guess who's gonna start flirting with everybody? All at the gym, just walking up and down the street. Every time you're with your husband, you're gonna be flirting with all the men. You know why? Because, see, he's that kind of dude that needs a taste of his own medicine. He's that kind that doesn't understand until it's happening to him. As long as it's happening to you, he's going to have every kind of excuse in the world. But that's why this would be the move to the top of my agenda on my list of life things to accomplish, is to fuck him over and make him be all in his feelings about me flirting with other men so he can know what it feels like. See, this kind of dude, you can't talk to him. It's the mentality, I could show you better than I could tell you. And that's what you need to do. Show him. You find the finest little muscled up dude, and it's even better if he's some other race. That's going to be like the double whammy to his ego. And you going to flirt your ass off. You're going to do all the same shit that he did. All of it. And let him see what that feels like. Let him turn over a new leaf when he's sitting there in a rage or his feelings crushed because he sees you tittering and giggling and blushing and some other guy all up on you and talking shit to you. Oh, he's going to have a whole new understanding. That's what I would do. I wouldn't divorce him, not yet, not until I got my revenge. That's how I do things. You know? She said, oh, yes. Oh, honey. Ooh. I would just be like, oh, I'll have to walk by and see with my short skirt on and then bend over and be like, oh, my leg is itching. So my butt is right by dude's face and act like I'm scratching on my leg and stuff. And then I would stand up. Then I have to do one of them, like, what's that girl's name? That bend and pop chick. Bend and pop, Legally Blonde. Remember that little part where she bend and pop? I'd have to do a couple of those. I don't know. I'd be like, oh, you have just the best smile. Those look those beautiful teeth. Look at that, those dimples you have. And I'd be batting my eyes. I don't know, whatever he did. I mean, you didn't go into any details, but whatever he did, I would do that too and just ramp it up a couple of notches. That's how you have to get across to him, because you keep talking. You keep running your mouth and he's not feeling anything. He's not getting any emotional pain from it because you're just talking. You have to do something. He's enjoying making you mad. It makes him feel powerful. You need to flip the script on him. I know it's going to be hard for you because you're that kind of woman that's like too much in your feelings. I keep telling y'all, you cannot be in your feelings when you're dealing with men. You got to stay in your mind and stay a step ahead of them at all times. So in this case like this, you need to plot your revenge. I'm telling you, go get your hair done, get you some what they call them things where they put the little light strips in there. Yeah, Elle Woods. Yeah, Legally Blonde. And they put the highlights. Put you some highlights, girl, and get you some lashes and stuff, and put you some little cutesy, because the weather getting ready to switch, and we getting ready to hit spring now. It's gonna be, people gonna be out because the COVID restrictions is over, so everybody gonna be out and about. And get you some little low cut sundress, something, some little short tight thing, and you get you some heels, some little city sandals and stuff, and little high heel sandals, and go start strutting your stuff all up and down the street and flirting with everybody that you can. That's what I would do. He wouldn't get away with this. Ooh, just the thought of him being in his feels and upset just brings me such tremendous joy. Question number 12. This is a male in the 20 to 34 age group. He's white European from Leeds, England. Summary of issue. I fear that my girlfriend will always put her career before us. I'm 33 and my girlfriend is 31. We've been in a relationship for almost 3 years. We've known each other for much longer, 8 years. We have now been in a long-distance relationship for 200 days, where she is in the U.S. and I am in the U.K. My girlfriend lives to work. I can accept the amount of time she works, 10 or 11 hours a day, except for weekends. But I have trouble accepting how totalizing her career is for her. She spends all her energy on that, and sometimes I feel our relationship only comes after that. I've suggested that she finds a distraction or hobby to dedicate herself to, but I have been attacked for not loving her for who she is. Over the 200 days of our long-distance relationship, we have only been able to see each other for 10 days. For 5 days, I flew to a conference she was having in Europe. The conference ended every day at 6, and I was looking forward to the time we would spend together after that, except that she kept accepting invitations to extra-hour meetings and work dinners, and not once did she excuse herself to be with her boyfriend, whom she never sees. On another occasion, I asked her to extend her stay for a day or two, but she explicitly refused by saying that she had to get back to work even though she could get on a vacation day. When I tried to confront her about how shitty I felt about these things, she did not apologize, but rather told me that it is what it is and I should learn to live with it. A big discussion started from me pointing out these things. From her side, she says I never listen when she talks about her work, and it is admittedly true that many things go over my head in these cases, although I do try. This probably comes from my thinking that a job is just a job and should be treated as such. We're now at a turning point where we have to decide whether we want to continue this relationship or not. I love her, but I'm afraid that I will never be able to accept how important work is in her life. Let me ask you a question, motherfucker. You a mere goddamn boyfriend. What do you think she's supposed to give up for you? She's a single woman and you a single man. You ain't married to her. You're not her husband. You ain't her kid's father. You nothing to her. That's how you could just break up that easy. She's a single woman and she's trying to make a career for herself. Okay? You see a job as just a job. That means that you're fine with doing what you are. She's not fine with where she is. She's a mover and a shaker and a striver and an achiever. You're not. And that's fine. Nobody said you have to be. But what you're not going to do is sit over there with your boyfriend ass and try to dictate and control somebody who's all the way in another country. So the bottom line is you need something that she's not going to give you as your mere girlfriend, and she shouldn't. Because she's single. She can do whatever the fuck she wants to with her time. And what you want is irrelevant, boyfriend. You need to stay in your envelope. So since you seem to be so, you want something that she's not willing to give you, then just get you a new girlfriend. One who wants to make you a priority. That's what you want. This girl's not that girl. Okay? So understand it, accept it, and move on. She's in another country. So, I mean, whatever. She can date an American dude and you can date another person from Leeds, England. You know, they be pissing me off trying to puff their chest out and act like they got some power and influence and they a mere boyfriend. Like you need to stay in your envelope and understand what your lane is. Don't veer from it. Question number 3, we trying to have husband privileges and they just a raggedy ass boyfriend. Not raggedy, raggedy. Raggedy, L-Y at the end, raggedy ass boyfriend. Question number 13, female 28 to 34. She's mixed race from Calgary, Canada. The male in question is 28 to 34 and he's white. Summary of issue. Popcorn ruined my marriage, or maybe it was already ruined. My husband has decided he needs to leave. Long story short, when I met my husband, he had stacks of popcorn, but I didn't think much of it, although I don't like it. I understand others do. We met on a dating site, and after 2 years, I started to realize he didn't fully unregister. I had it out with him, and he put it down to cold feet. We were getting married in just a few months. He also said he suffers from depression. His brother died when he was a kid, and his mom just recently died also. I became a detective over the years, installing spyware and lots of other things that meant he never physically cheated, as I would catch him before he went that far. I realized he was spending hours every day watching popcorn, sitting on the toilet several times a day watching it. About 6 years ago, he just got worse. He is such a needy person that he would go online, start chatting to a person that lives overseas, and within a week, he's telling them that he is in love, that he isn't really married, and that he will soon leave his wife to be with them. I think I must have caught him with around 100 women. Okay, and you still there? When I would catch him, I would contact the woman and then they would block him, and then I would see him online begging them to reply to his messages. Till this day, he doesn't know how I see what he is doing. Recently, I caught him again, and he was mortified as I recorded them talking about popcorn videos and what he would do to her when they finally met. Wow. Now he has decided he needs to go, something he has never said. The thing is, he is so useless organizing anything. I've always told him he would have to divorce me. I've seen him telling women he wants me to be the one to leave him so he doesn't have to feel so bad. Now, 4 weeks later, although I know he still wants to leave, he isn't making any plans. I've asked him 4 times if he found a solicitor and what are the financial arrangements. I feel he's so immature and wants me to do everything. He is telling me that he will still cut the grass and will only move a few streets away. I told him no way. He needs to move at least a 15-minute drive, as I don't want to be bumping into him every day. He says it doesn't need to be like that. We can still be friends, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's going on in his little brain. I think he really thought we would even spend Christmas together. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. I'm just hoping to find some strength to get through this. You about the dumbest bitch I've ever met in my goddamn life. You gonna catch your motherfucker cheating over 100 times and you still with him? And you had the energy and the gall to write me about this bullshit here? You is stupid. Okay? Desperate and dumb. I can't even mince my words. I can't even pretend to try to feel sympathetic for you. The first time, maybe the second time, but 100 times? 100 times. That's what you wrote. I caught him 100 times. I mean, who does that? I cannot with you. So I'm gonna tell you this. Help him pack his stuff and then help him leave. Like open the door, put his stuff on the other side of it. Then once he's gone, I want you to get in your car and you go find the nearest shrink and you hop on that couch and you stay there until you find some sense, some self-esteem, something. Because this is the hottest mess that I've had come across a column in years. You 100 times for real. Ooh, Lord. I don't even know what to say. You're saying how hilarious. I'm serious as a heart attack. 100 times? No. And then she complaining because he's useless. He can't organize nothing. He can organize plenty. When he want to line him up some nook, he's very organized. You haven't noticed? He only playing that game with you because he knows you believe it and you'll fall for it because you dumb. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I just have never seen anybody be this stupid. Question number 14. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Asian from Dublin, California. Oh, that's right down the road here. Female, 22 to 27, and she's white. Summary of issue: how to heal my relationship with my fiance after telling her to shut the fuck up. I like this guy. I stood up to make coffee, and my fiance said, "Let me put in the vanilla." I said, "No." She said, "Let me put in caramel." I said, "No, I don't want anything." So she says, "Let me put in sugar." I said, "No, I don't want anything." And then she says, "You just had a Toblerone. Isn't that candy? That's sugar. Why don't you have sugar?" And I said, "I don't want anything in my coffee." She then tries to take over making it and grab the milk from my hands. Then I said, "I want to make my own coffee." Then I had to talk her into giving it back. And then she came from behind me to hold my arms to guide the milk in the cup. Wow, what the fuck is wrong with her? I was purely irritated at this point. Then I said, "Let me make my own coffee." Then she went to sit at the table and I said, "I'm going to sit on the couch." She said, "You don't have to ask me for permission," in a laughing way. I wasn't. I was being polite, so I'm trying to sit at the table with her. Then I told her in a tone that sounds like an angry child, where I was nearly at my breaking point, to back off and just let me be. She usually makes fun of my voice when it's like this and calls it like a child's voice. This voice only comes out when I get pushed by her over a certain point. I quoted her before she said that, what she normally says about my voice, and said, "Why are you using that baby voice?" And laughed like she does at me. She laughed at my prediction of what she said, and then I said harshly, like, "Why do you do that? Why can't you just shut the fuck up?" to her. Then she processed it and got all stern and said, "I've said if you ever say it again, we're going to have problems." I said, "I'm sorry," and explained that she was put over my boundaries of saying no and pushed me over the edge as she has done before. Then she switched it on me, saying, "We have a problem now." And I went over boundaries when I did, and I apologized. I told her in the past that I wouldn't say that again, and I meant it rather, but I got worked up and feel like I'm in a fight or flight when I say it. She then explains to me how she hasn't said anything about reality being a game or situation or not real. She knows this bothers me and how she hasn't mocked me like that like she used to. She used to repeat and mock me a lot. After I asked her to never do it again, I said I know. She then said I continue to say that phrase even though she asked me to stop, and I apologized again. She said she is going shopping, then told the dog, "You can stay here with him," and left. You should put all her shit on the other side of the door, and when she comes back, say, "Bitch, not only do I want you to shut the fuck up, I want you to get the fuck out of my life." That's what you need to tell her, sir. You're being much too passive and much too weak. You letting some raggedy bitch run all over you and disrespect you for up one side, down the other. I don't understand how you think this woman could love you. Women cannot love a man that they don't respect. She has no respect for you. Who sits there mocking their boyfriend like that? That's bullying. Dude, I don't I don't know what happened to you in your past that you think that this kind of behavior from someone who claims to love you and that wants to be your wife and your life partner is appropriate and that's tolerable and that is okay. Let me tell you how this would have went if it was me. Now keep in mind, I know I'm a broom riding bee, but I'm a woman and I wouldn't have took this. Okay, so here you go. So you saying, I stood up to make my coffee. She's like, "Let me put vanilla." I said, "No." "Let me put in caramel." "No, I don't want anything." So you saying all these no's and stuff. See, that's what I would have blew up right there. It's like, bitch, I'm making my own goddamn coffee. I don't need to tell me what to do with my goddamn coffee. Sit your ass down and shut up. Stay out of my cup of coffee. Okay, that would have been round one. Then she gonna stand up and she's gonna grab the milk from your hands, basically snatching it. You think that's respectful? When people snatch things from your hand, you know what would have happened? I would have snatched it back and poured it over that bitch's head. It's like, you want the goddamn milk so bad, here you go. I know me because I have an awful temper. And one thing I do not do is tolerate people snatching anything from me. Nothing. Nothing. She would have been wearing that goddamn milk. And then when I told her, "You better clean it up off the floor too." Well, most likely you got a dog. The dog would have been over there having a field day. So then she went to sit on the table and you went to sit on the couch and you talking to her. I wouldn't have talked to that bitch for the next 6 months. What you need to do is when she is taking a shower or something and she takes that engagement ring off, pick that ring up and put it in your pocket and start packing all her stuff. And then you tell her to get out. Tell her that she's not respecting you and that what she calls love is some sick, twisted bullshit and you ain't down with it. And then for the knife in the heart, tell her that you're going to get you an Asian woman who knows how to treat a man because she's a bitch and she don't know how to do it, and to get the fuck out. You tell her to shut the fuck up, but that's not good enough. You need to tell her to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. She need the 1-2 punch. Oh yeah. Oh honey, I would have lit her ass up. But yeah, that's what you need to do. Just let her know. But you being far too passive, far too just, I mean, your acceptance of this mistreatment and bullying is making her feel empowered, and she's just amping up the disrespect. And like I'm telling you, I don't know what you talking about your fiance. No woman can love a man that she has no respect for. It does not work for us. We have to respect you, then we can love you. Now, there's a lot of men who don't deserve any respect, but the women still respect them anyway. But it doesn't sound like you're doing anything to warrant any disrespect. But yes, she dosing you up right and left, and you just taking it. So you better fix this, get rid of her, and start again with somebody with some damn sense. Question number 15, female, 28 to 34. She's African-American from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, wherever the fuck that is. Summary of issue. My ex got married a few months ago after we have broken up. Should I get answers from him? You stupid too. Dad, we were together for 4 years. We broke up amicably in May because our views in life no longer align with one another, but we still kept texting each other occasionally. He frequently says he loves me and misses me, and I did too. Sometimes he would also call me because he misses me. After a few months of going back and forth, our last interaction was in December. Then in mid-February, I had a feeling to check up on him. Oh my God. What would Deb do? Deb would be a milk pouring hoe. Oh. And surprise, surprise, his page showed he is married. I did some digging and found out that he got married in January. To say I was shocked was an understatement. Now I have lots of questions that need answers. Like, when did they actually meet? Was he actually cheating on me all this time? Should I text him and ask all of these? He literally was saying that I was the love of his life a few months before that. How does someone move on so quickly? And even getting married on top of that. I am so lost now. What fucking difference does it make? He's not your man no more. He hasn't been your man since May. He could have met her in April, and that's why y'all broke up in May. Did you ever think of that? And he'd been dating her all this time. And so, see, I don't know why people think that when a man meets the woman that he wants to be with, that it takes years and years for him to decide that. And, you know, you guys are in your 30s. He knows if he wants to be with her, and he proposed, they planned a wedding, they got married. The end. Notice how he wanted her and he didn't want you. You just can't believe it. That's the problem. We was together for 4 years. You don't date a man for 4 years. That was your mistake. And so he met somebody that he really wanted, and then now he's with her and he's married. He's happily ever after with someone else. And here you go. Well, yeah, I need answers. You don't need shit. You need your ass kicked. That's probably about all you really need. When did they meet? None of your business. Was he actually cheating on me all the time? Who gives a fuck? Because your relationship been over for almost a year. Should I text and ask Elise if you want to get cussed out? Let me tell you what this will be. What would Deb do? Okay, so you text me talking about, you know, I need answers. I would have said, no, what you need is mind your goddamn business, because nothing over here has nothing to do with you. So then you would be like, well, was he cheating on me all the time? So if I was, what you gonna do about it now? Right? So he tells you that, what you gonna do about it? Why would you ask somebody that? If he says, yes, I cheated on her, and cheated on you every chance I got because you was a dumb bitch and I really liked her. And I realized after I got with her that she's like golden and you just like gutters trash. That's why it was so easy to dump your ass and move on. If he tells you something like that, why would you set yourself up for that? See, that's what you would, if it was me and I knew that somebody was bothering me and trying to infringe on my happy new life, I would rip her. I would break her heart. I would just hurt every feeling she ever had since birth. All of them. Every last one of them. I would make her mentally ill. I would make her just want to start thinking about jumping off the nearest bridge. I would say so much foul, funky stuff to her for having the gall to text me and ask me about a relationship that's been over for a year. And when I'm married to somebody else, oh my God, I cannot even imagine how much you would be crying when I got through with you. So what I'm telling you is delete his number from your phone and go on with your life like you never met him. He's someone else's husband now. He's off limits to you. You're not going to text him. You're not going to call him. You're not going to email him. You're not going to look on his social media. You're not going to do shit. Because this is the other thing you don't know. Is his wife crazy? You in South Carolina, what did she say? North Carolina, where is she? Yeah, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, wherever the hell that is. You know, some of them crazy, southern women will kill you about their man. So she finds out you texting her man and asking him questions about her and their marriage. Girl, she gonna roll up on you with her girls and stomp you. You better leave that woman and her husband alone. If you value your life and your face, because they will have you needing plastic surgery. You know, these women don't be playing about their men. I would not mess with this situation. You lost, let it go. Question number 16. Male 22 to 27. He's white from Seattle, Washington. Why are all these white dudes writing to me lately? I guess they must be coming from Twitch. My question is about bedwetting. I'm 24 and the girl I like is 25. Is it a deal breaker? How should I tell her I still wet the bed? Oh my God. Oh. Hello, Deb. I hope you can help me. I'm 24 years old and I still have issues wetting the bed several times a week. How big of a deal is this for women? Well, dude, I struggle to search for a girlfriend because I worry that they will be grossed out and move on. Is it a big of a deal as I think, or can I wear some special type of absorbent underwear and they will understand? Okay, now that you're an adult, can't you get a surgery for that or something? These questions tonight, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, to me, this is the kind of thing, this is like a medical issue. I'm not licensed to practice medicine. The only thing I can tell you is that you should go and see a specialist now that you're an adult. Their treatment plan is very different than it can be for a growing child. Okay. See, I can remember somebody reading somewhere about them doing surgery or something for that. But will most women want to be in the bed with somebody who's going to be, they wake up in a puddle of pee? The answer to that question is no. I can't think of anyone who would find that to be romantic, exciting, or something to look forward to. I'm sure they have some kind of adult diaper things you could probably wear to bed, but you know, that's not sexy. I would look to a doctor if I were you. I would investigate all avenues to get that fixed. Now that you're an adult. Yeah, I mean, as a little kid, you know, I had little friends, you know, you like 7, 8, 9 years old and stuff. I had little friends that would pee in the bed. I'm like, you can't sleep with me. Because you know how they want us to sleep in the same bed with you? Oh, hell no. I had my mother making what we used to call a pallet on the floor. And my daddy would put down some oilcloth. Like, you know, he used it to cover, like, you know, his equipment in the, like, you know, his tools and stuff. It was just like waterproof stuff. And he put that down. And then he would put, like, you know, they put some blank stuff that's washable on the floor right next to my bed. And then my little pee-pee friend would sleep there. And then when they peed, then that was that. My mother would come in the middle of the night, get all the stuff and put it in the wash machine and, you know, remake the thing. They wipe up the oilcloth and then we would go back to sleep. But oh, hell to no, you ain't sleeping in bed with me. You ain't pissing on my mattress. Nope, not doing it. And I know they were nice little kids and stuff, but I don't know. I never really could figure out why some people pee in the bed and some people don't. You know, what is that? I never really read up on it, but I just know it's nothing that I would want to date or be married to. So I'm sure you probably could find somebody, but right off the top of my head, I can't say that you have much success, but I would look into a medical treatment for that if I were you. Okay. At 24, you should be able to find something. Question number 17, female 20 to 34, European from Brighton in the UK. Summary of issue. My friends are getting married right, left, and center. How do I respectfully but firmly respond to condescending comments about being single? I'm at the age where my friends, ranging in age from 27 to 33, are getting married or in relationships. Increasingly, conversations are pivoting towards how happy they are in their relationships, which I think is natural. Eventually, they ask me if I'm in a relationship or am I in search of one. I'm always clear that I'm not in a relationship and will not be interested in one for a long time. They respond with, oh, it's because you haven't met the right person, or you'll change your mind eventually, or I'll pray for God to give you the right person. At first, I've always brushed these off politely. They're well-meaning, and I know they're really eager to share their happiness. But as more and more of them get engaged, the comments have become constant and they started to sound condescending. Don't worry, you'll find him when you least expect it. I know I did. Or don't lose hope. I don't want to sound jealous or bitty. I just want to stay respectful of them and appreciative of their joy because truly I am. However, it's getting harder to stay that way. Oh, this sounds like drama. How do I respectfully and firmly say that I'm happy where I am and don't feel the need to be in a relationship? Just start telling them you gay. Tell them anything. The bottom line is, I know you don't want to, but at some point, you get sick of this kind of stuff and you start telling people, stop talking about that shit. I don't feel like hearing it. Just go enjoy your husband and leave me the fuck alone. Okay. I'm doing what I want to do with my life. You doing what you want to do with yours. We don't have to be trying to do the same thing. Okay. Just let it go. Get on my goddamn nerves with this shit. You say that to a couple of them, the word will spread through it, and then they'll leave you the fuck alone. I don't see why y'all be mincing your words and be so concerned about other people's feelings and stuff. You need to be concerned about yours. Plus, it's only one of you, and it's like 20 of them, and they all hounding you like that, and you ain't cussed nobody out yet? Girl, you better than me. That's all I can say. The more wine I drink, the crazier my answers are going to get. I just want you to know. I just don't get it. The thing that bothers me so much is why are people like that though? They just want to just fill you with platitudes and push you towards something. I mean, we each make choices for our lives that's supposed to make us happy. I don't have to be happy the way that you are. There's no law that says we have to find the same happiness, that we have to like the same things. So you trying to push your ideals of happiness onto me and, making it sound like there's something missing in my life because you have this thing and that's what you wanted is just ridiculously disrespectful. And that's the part they don't seem to fucking get. They want to tell you all the time, oh, you'll find them. This. It's like, I'm not looking for no motherfucker like you are. Or some dude to be cooking and cleaning for and laying up under. That's not my choice of a lifestyle, bitch. That's your shit. That's your choice. You go do you and be happy and stay the fuck up out of my business. You talk to them like that a couple of times, they'll leave you the fuck alone. Trust me. Trust. That would have worn me out. Question number 18, female, 20 to 34. She's black from Greenwood, Indiana. Male in question is 43 to 50. Summary of issue. I am 30 and expecting a child with a man who has so many red flags. This is very scary. Oh. Is anybody donating to my hen fund? I'm getting tired of wine. It's not strong enough. I need some hen. Okay. Hey, Auntie Deb. Thank you, Candace, for choosing my letter. So I just found out that I am 4 weeks pregnant, and I'm not sure if I want to keep it or not. You don't. I've been dating this guy. He's now 42, on and off for the last 2 years. During this time, we have broken up multiple times, often due to miscommunication or me getting upset at him that he would be distant at times. After our first few dates, he had basically told me that he felt a special connection and intense feelings towards me. However, we seemed to get into conflict because of when we started having eggplant. He would always try to do it without a condom. And I would get angry as opposed to communicate with him calmly about my preferences. We stopped talking one time because I basically went off on him about it. Eventually, we got back together and I got him to wear one every time, but I still didn't trust him from the previous incidents and would at times distance myself or make myself less available. Why is my throat tickly? I could tell that he was trying to lure me back in after that because he offered money for my artwork, a few thousand. I obviously didn't feel comfortable with this and avoided talking about it until eventually I declined. I could tell he wouldn't let it go. Thank you. Who is that? Grace. Yes. Here's Bev Mo. Here I come. I ended up calling him out and basically putting him on blast about his intentions. And at that point, he basically shut down and was like, never mind. We stopped talking for like a month. Now, a month ago, he tries to meet up with me again. I am in a vulnerable state. Someone very close to me just passed. We eventually meet up and I tell him what happened. One thing leads to another and things get very heated. He says that he wants to passionately make whoopee. Oh, thank you. Hen, 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 hen. So on Sunday, then that means I'm going to be lit. That's what that means. So let's see. He says if it's meant to be. Oh no, he says he wants to passionately make whoopee to me, and while staring into my eyes, and he wants to put a baby in me. He says if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I told him no for like 10 minutes and told him he needed to wear a condom. I eventually conceded. Now I'm pregnant, even though I took the morning after pill, and I'm very confused and scared. Where are you again? Does Indiana have abortion still? If not, start making plans to get in your car and drive to a state that does and terminate. Terminate immediately, as soon as possible. And then you made a series of stupid decisions. Let me put this cough drop in my mouth. I don't know what's going on with my throat. If you don't trust a man, you don't sleep with him, fool. You don't argue with a man about your birth control. He wants to do something that's contrary to what you want to do, you dump him. You made a whole bunch of stupid mistakes here. And when someone dies and a woman is vulnerable, that is the time when you have to be them on the most diligent, because that's when the predators really come out. And they know that you're in a weakened state, you're emotionally needy, you're grieving, confused, sad, all of that. A predator will take advantage of that and they pounce because you're weak. And that's what he did. You kept saying no for 10 minutes and he needed to wear and all this. Why did you not get up and get dressed and leave wherever he was or kick him out? Why did you not do that? See, you put yourself in a situation by acting like you're so desperate that you made yourself, you did this to yourself essentially. You kept messing with a dude that you admitted openly in this letter that you didn't trust because of the games and the pressure he was putting on you. And then you escaped and then you went back. So the only other thing you could do is, if you decide to go have it, is put up for adoption. As I recall, Indiana is one of those states where you can take the baby to the fire department and just put it in this little bucket or something, and then they, adopt the baby out. You could do that. But if I were you, I'd try to get a termination and get myself on some birth control if you're going to be messing with Dusties. Question number 19. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's African-American from Biloxi, Mississippi. In summary of issue, I effed around and found out when I was stupid and I asked my girlfriend a question I didn't really want the answer to. Oh, you dummy. I'm 25 and a deeply insecure person. I've been with my girlfriend, she's 24, for a little over a year. For a bit of context, our relationship started as a FWB. We both started to develop feelings for each other. When I told her that I loved her for the first time, I was about to travel and I asked her if she could be exclusive when I got back from my trip. She said yes, but ended up hooking up with this one dude from her past for the last time. She's admitted that this dude is the biggest size-wise that she's ever been with, and you can tell I'm a bit insecure in that department as well. Why would she tell you that? I was hurt that she had been with him, but got over it because we weren't exclusive. Fast forward to now. I asked my girlfriend a question that I should never have asked to know the answer to, and I got hurt. I asked her who made her finish the most of all the people she had slept with. Her answer was that same dude. I'm conflicted because on one hand, I'm kind of relieved to finally know the truth of her perception of our intimacy life. But on the other hand, I ruined our bed life, and now I'm deeply hurt by the quote truth. I realize this is extremely insecure and immature, but is there any salvaging or moving past this? Nope. Because you always going to be thinking about it. If you guys break up, you're going to still be thinking about it. And I'm wondering why you would ask somebody something like that. Who would ask their girlfriend who they had the best time in bed with? Why would you do that to yourself? Unless you knew for a fact that it was you, but you didn't. That's why you asked. So, I mean, I would kind of try to feel sorry for you, but I can't because you were stupid. You, as you said in your summary, you effed around and found out. So now I bet you won't be asking nobody no stupid ass questions like that again, will you? Unbelievable. You're not going to move past this. Just let it go. Let her go. Let this FWB thing go. Let her go on back to dude and do her thing over there somewhere. Question number 20. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's from Silver Spring. Summary of issue. How am I supposed to react to this? I'm 26 and my boyfriend is 28. I've told him several times that my love language is quality time. I've put in a lot of effort in this relationship and I stopped since a while to see what effort would come from his end. So far, it hasn't been good. I feel like I was too dependent on spending my time with him, and I know you should start spending time with yourself and things you love. So I started doing exactly that. I still see no change in him. He can spend 2 weeks without seeing me. He traveled to another city. But come on, you're back now and you still don't come see me? I used to feel guilty in the past, saying to myself things like, oh, he's tired. Oh, let me initiate the hangout. But like I said, I've stopped. What sucks is he doesn't seem bothered at all about it. He's a good man. And I've been with him for about 6 years now. It hurts because even after communicating my needs, why does he still repeatedly make me feel like this? Because you let him. It's like this. There's two kinds of people in this world, and most of them are the kind like I'm going to describe. So you see somebody who's just sitting there with a sign on them that says, kick me. Kick me. So most people are going to go up and follow the instructions and kick the person, right? And there'll be other people that be go up there, oh my God, why do you want people to kick you? That's so awful. You should do better for yourself, isn't that? Okay. But most people are going to oblige and kick you. That's what's going on here. You stuck around for 6 years while he kicked you over and over and over, and you still there, letting him kick you some more. So the one with the power here to change this whole situation around is you. Just like, he didn't care about you for 2 weeks and he still didn't care when he came back. He's not into you like that. You can call him your boyfriend. I've been, quote, with him for 6 years. You've been hanging around in his circle, just desperately clinging to him, I guess, for 6 years. But he's not really interested in you. You could disappear. He probably won't even notice that you're gone. Question number 21. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Kingsport, Minnesota. Where is that? Male, 35 to 42. Summary of issue. My husband purposely ignores me when I try to talk to him. If I do happen to get his attention, his general reaction is annoyance that I'm trying to talk to him. I know it's not that he can't hear me. He can, but he chooses not to answer. I'm a stay-at-home parent to 2 babies, and he's the only other adult I speak to all day, but I'm always bothering him to the point where I've stopped trying to speak to him at all. He has no problem climbing on top of, oh God, at the end of the night wanting a good time after having not spoken to or even looked at me all day. This weekend has been really hard, and I'm unsure how to fix this or if I even want to. No, you don't want to. What you want to do is get a divorce. You want to get a divorce because I don't know what you call this kind of marriage. You cooking and cleaning and giving up some booty, and he don't even have enough consideration for you to have a conversation with you. If that is not dismissive and telling you that you aren't about nothing and you don't mean shit to him, I don't know what does. Oh, honey, yes, she should have been divorced. And I'm not really sure why, when he tries all of that, why you don't tell him to fuck off? You don't have no conversation for me, but you think this is what's gonna happen? He shouldn't die. Stuff like that. Interesting. Question number 22. This is a male in the 20 to 34 age group. He's from Los Angeles. Sorry of issue. My girlfriend and I don't agree on how much to spend on an engagement ring. This has been a point of conflict for us lately as we've been discussing things. We've talked about getting engaged within the next year or two, and she's brought up rings and how much she expects me to pay a couple of times. Unfortunately, the amount she said is higher than what I was expecting. She expects to get a ring that costs between $5,000 and $10,000. I make about $4,000 a month after taxes and owe nearly $30,000 in student loans. So I was a bit put off hearing that's what she expects. It makes me a bit resentful, to be honest. I feel like I work hard for my money and don't like the thought of using a good chunk of my savings just for a ring. I'd rather use that towards a house or towards my student loans. I understand wanting to have a nice quality ring that lasts, but surely that can be had for $2,000 to $5,000. I told her that the tradition of men buying rings for women doesn't seem fair to me, since I don't get anything in return. I feel like I should get a nice Rolex or something if I'm spending that much money on a ring. You a little bitch. When I told her that, she just said, sorry, that's just tradition and that's how it works. She's right. I feel like if I buy her an expensive ring that she wants, I'll resent her. But if I buy her a cheap one, she'll resent me. How should I handle this? You should not get married. That's how you should handle this, because you ain't ready. You too broke. But the main thing is, go back and tell her this, because we're not gonna pitter patter about this engagement ring, because you're not gonna give her one. What you're gonna say is, we're not gonna have engagement rings. We're gonna get married. We're gonna exchange wedding bands. I'll get some nice bands like platinum or something. I don't know, platinum with gold, whatever. I don't know. They got all these different blends of metals and shit you can make, and could have etchings on it or something. I mean, whatever. You all could doll it up and say that's what we're gonna have. You're not gonna get an engagement ring unless you buy it yourself. Because I'm not spending any money on that. I'm gonna use the money that I have for a down payment on the house. And that's what you tell her. And she either can go along with it, or she can say no. And if she says no, then it's like, well, you're going to buy your own engagement ring? Because I'm not buying one. And then she'll say, well, no, I'm not going to marry you then. And then you say, okay, bye-bye. Okay, problem solved. Might not be the solution you was looking for, but I did solve your problem. That's all I promise people. A response, a solution. I never said you was going to like it. Okay. Question number 23. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's white, from Wiley, Texas. Summary of issue. I made a fake profile and found out that my boyfriend wasn't that attracted to me. After a couple of dates with my boyfriend, I made a fake dating profile on the platform that we matched on. Using this fake profile, I directed a conversation with him in such a way in which he would rate me and also to see if he was sleeping around with other people. He gave the ethnicities and ages of people who he was currently seeing at the time. 3 women, and while he gave the other 2 an 8, he gave me a 6. He had only gone on 1 date with each of the 2 other people, and at that point, we had been on 5 dates. He also said to the fake profile that he would stop seeing me for the fake person. Wow. Fast forward to now, almost 2 years since we met. I told him about what I'd done. This is something I felt incredibly guilty about. And I feel awful for doing something so manipulative, and that I betrayed his trust. I think at that point, I wasn't over my first relationship and I was missing validation. He said that while some of the descriptions matched, he changed up the numbers because he said he didn't want to actually rate people and that he didn't actually think that I was a 6 out of 10. I have a hard time believing that, and I don't know why he stayed with me for this long. The answer to the question is, why did you stay with him? I'm quite insecure about how I look, and he called me too skinny on the fake profile. I'm a normal body mass index. He also slept with someone after we had our first date, which I didn't know about until after 5 or 6 months in. And he didn't really use condoms, despite me telling him that I don't have birth control. I could have told him to wear them, but I was in somewhat of an uncomfortable position to say anything. He also got tested about 5 months into our relationship, and he was positive for an STI, which was extremely difficult for me. I felt like I wasn't respected and that he should have at least tested if he was going to wear a condom. Wasn't going to. Sometimes I feel quite hung up over the start of a relationship, and I don't know what to do. Thank you. I appreciate it, Jones. Young lady, let me tell you this. Okay, the fact that you felt like you need to do all this investigation work for some dude that you'd only been out with 5 times and you know put him on the spot and all that stuff, you was tripping. That's not how you handle yourself. That's the first thing. The second thing is, after you're trying to charge him with a crime for he slept with somebody after you went on the first date, and he's seeing other people and stuff while you guys were still you dating him, but you not in a committed relationship yet, and you try to charge him with a crime. No, that's what he's supposed to do. You're both single. You could have been doing the same thing. You didn't have a commitment with him yet, right? You don't even been out with him a few times. So you called him your boyfriend, and all this possessiveness and making fake profiles and stuff is a little odd, don't you think? Then you're going to confess 2 years later. So now he knows how raggedy and untrustworthy you are. I don't even know what to say. Of course, he's going to lie and say that he didn't mean it and all of those stuff. Because now he's invested in you for 2 years and he doesn't want any problems. So yeah, I would say that too. But the bottom line is, you didn't trust him. You kept dealing with him anyway. He's sleeping around when you claimed that he was your boyfriend, which in my mind he really wasn't. So to me, that's a moot point. But you wrote about it. It's your letter. It's your feelings. It's your issue. I would think that you would have left him alone. So I'm not understanding why, years later into this relationship, now you want to talk about some stuff that happens at the beginning. I don't understand where you're coming from with this. That was 2 years ago. Why are you bringing it up now? Why are you worrying about it now? Let it go. If you can't let it go, then that means it's time to let this relationship go. So either way, you let go of these complaints and this whining about the past, or you let go of him and you start fresh with someone new. Those are your only 2 choices. Question number 24. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group from, I don't know how you pronounce this, DEKALB, DeKalb, I don't know, Illinois. Male, 42 to 49. So she's 35 to 41, he's 42 to 49. Okay. Summary of issue. I found out a few years ago before our relationship that my boyfriend and his step niece exchanged some messages and pictures that were explicit. Okay. As far as I know, they never did anything further, but there were a few family parties they both attended about that time. I heard that at one party she hooked up with a girl and then later in some shed with some other guy. She was of age, so nothing illegal was done regardless of what all occurred. I know they are not blood relatives, but it makes me want to puke. It also makes me really uncomfortable thinking about them being around each other now at family events, since I'm not always able to attend these events. I grew up in a family where I was the step, and I would never have participated in anything physical with one of my step uncles. My boyfriend is for the most part a great guy, but there are some things he's done in the past that just don't sit well with me. Prior to finding out about the step niece, I also found out that he slept with his neighbors, who was also his friend's wife. It caused them to get a divorce. And while my boyfriend thought she stayed with him, she didn't. I know everyone makes mistakes in life and some do things that are out of the character, but the more things I find out, the more I feel like I don't really know him. I talked to him about how I feel, and he just says he was in a bad place at that time in his life. I'm trying to get over things, but I just keep thinking about it. I find it caused me to be distant and angry at him. I had him on a pedestal because we have had a great relationship, and he seemed to have the same morals and values as me. I have friends who would just brush it off what he's done and think that I should make the step niece a big deal. I feel like I'm wrong, but I can't shake how I feel. How would you suggest that I get over it? I'm going to say this. I wouldn't get over it because there's certain things, there's certain boundaries that blended families must have. Whether it's a step niece, a grand niece, a niece, a buddy's daughter, his fake, what we black folks call play niece, whatever, there are certain things that you as adult male do not do with people who are still, I mean, she might have been over 18, but she's still that person who he's related to's kid. There's something really odd about a man who would do something like this. I would not trust him around any of the young females in my family. He could not be around my baby sister, my granddaughter, my niece, my little cousins. He's not going to be around no kid that's 16, 17, 18 years old because his values are different than mine. And I would feel a need to protect them from him because his character is questionable. So the fact that you found all this out and you still want to fuck with him, that shows that you ain't about shit either. You up there trying to figure out how you can make this work. This is a fucking weirdo. Okay. And when you got people that don't adhere to social mores and values and boundaries, and you want to bring them into your life and your family around your young female relatives, bitch, something's wrong with you. Something is fucking wrong with you. You already know the dude is a pervert, and then yet you want to be around him, and you want to be bringing him to family events and shit, and exposing all your young relatives to that motherfucker. There's something wrong with you, Cal. Get rid of this motherfucker. Otherwise, don't write to me with you've got these kind of relationships with these kind of weirdo freaks. Okay, you already know what time it is with this dude. He's a hoe. He has no boundaries. He don't respect his friends. He don't respect his family. And I wonder why you think he's going to respect you. He thinks goes through the world thinking about his dick. That's it. That's all he thinks about. So that's the kind of man that you with. Open your eyes and look at him. Ooh, my heart is racing right now. Because, and her relatives, like, they would be innocent. They thinking, my sister, my cousin, my, whatever, has this new boyfriend. And so they just go welcome him into the family, right? While he's steady eyeing all the little girls. And she just going to bring him around in there, just like regular. No. Something's wrong with you. You need to get your shit together, chick. And this is our final question of the night. These wild ass people. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Female 22 to 27. She's from some place called Strongsville, Ohio. Summary issue. What would make a guy not ask a woman out for a second date despite really liking her? Obviously, he don't like her that much. But let's see what you have to say. I've been thinking about this question because as women, we think if he's not asking us out, then he doesn't like us. We're also told not to make a move. Realistically, a woman could ask for a second date. I don't think it's fair for a guy to do all the date planning either. I think some initiative from the woman is fair. But what would make a guy not ask for a second date even if he really liked the woman? Okay, well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one is her assessment of him really liking her was faulty. He thought she was okay, but nothing that he couldn't do without. And so he don't want to go on a second date. He ain't starting to invest no money or no time. He ain't getting his hair fresh or getting his car detailed to go out with you because you wasn't that stellar in his book. Maybe since he's on the dating apps, he swiped and he met somebody that he likes better. So there's no point in going out with you again because he's off, in a new direction. Maybe he got back with his ex. Maybe he decided he's going to go swing into the other camp and date a dude. Maybe he was trying to get some first date hookup action going on and you didn't cooperate. And so he moved on to the next one for something easier. I don't know. There's like dozens of reasons why he wouldn't go on a second date with you. Those are just the ones that come to the top of my head. But the bottom line is you want a first date. If a man is interested in you, he's gonna. This is what my personal experience is. When they really want to see you again, they're gonna ask you for the second date on the first date. They don't want you to get nothing booked on your calendar that's gonna make him have to wait to see you, or you have to say, "I'm already busy." He's gonna try to lock that shit down right away because he is excited and he wants to be with you and he wants to talk to you and he wants to look at you and he wants to hold your hand and wrap your arm around him or something. I mean, he wants to be in your presence. He wants to talk to you and he wants to smell your hair. He wants to look at you up close and personal. Look at you smile. Notice the twinkles in your eyes. He's gonna have it bad when he starts asking you for the second date on the first date. If you go away from the first date and he ain't said nothing in a few days and pass by, chalk that up to experience and let's move on here. Let's not be silly. Let's not be desperate. Let's recognize what time it is. It's time to move on. This is just unbelievable that you think that I don't think a man should have to do all this. You don't do that then. Do that and watch your face get cracked. You young girls kill me with your logic about men. Men haven't changed their way of chasing a woman that they're interested in since 12 BC. Okay, so y'all wonder, well, I'm going to ask him, I'm going to do this and that. You can do that. You can feel free. Knock yourself out. It's not going to make him like you. He might go just because something to do, and it's flattering to have a woman ask you out, I suppose. But is that going to, if the fact that he goes means that he likes you? Absolutely not. Because if he liked you, he would be in your face. There would be nothing you could do to tell him. I mean, they are 8 day hot. Hi. They call you in the morning. Good morning. How did you sleep? They call you at night. Oh, good night, baby. How was your day? They call you in the middle of the day. Oh, I just wanted to hear your voice. That's how they do when they like you. When they don't really give a fuck, they don't ask you for a second date. So you need to learn how that works and just let this go and get back on your swipey thing and start swiping. You know? Ooh, glad that's over with. I just remind you all to hit the subscription button and the like. We're going to be here on Sunday for National Women's History Month. I'm going to try to do 4 shows. This will be the second one. I'm going to teach you guys how to talk to men in a way that is commanding and from a position of strength, not this weak, timid bullshit that you all like to do. Speak your mind like a boss, okay? And we'll teach you guys this bluff method. So that's what we're going to do on Sunday. I'll be showing you some examples of how to do that, as well as what not to do when you're talking to a man. And some of you just really don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. So that's our show for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for coming for What the Fuck Tuesday on Wednesday again. Me and Candace, I don't know. And that letter that she put in there, I think she did that to me on purpose to traumatize me. But I will see you guys on Sunday, okay? So be here, hit the subscription, hit the like, and I'll see you lovely people on Sunday.